Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast Now. Here's the guy who's ready to talk about the series finale of Young Cedric. I am Rob's sister, Nina. Welcome back. Well, what an exciting night. I can't even contain myself here in the opening. There's so much to get to. What an emotional night. So happy to have you here with us for wall-to-wall coverage of what's going on before the wall. Back here with Taran Armstrong. Taran, how are you?
I'm doing great, Rob. It's always a good episode when I'm able to just watch lots of Tucker.
I want to know where Tucker is at all times.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Did you have to get down real low to find him?
Listen, low, high, doesn't matter. I'll find him.
Okay. All right. Very excited to have here with us back again, Jason Reed. Jason, how are you?
Rob, I'm doing great. Happy to be here. Sorry, I'm not emotional. There's just a lot of flies. Just a lot of flies around. Just a lot of flies.
It's
good. I'm good. All right. I'm okay, Mr. Rob. I'm okay. Sorry for yelling.
Okay. All right. And back with us also, her lower third says Kirsten said what, but you should really spell it Kirsten C-E-D what? Kirsten McInnes.
I can't believe it.
You wanted the Quinn Wilhelm scream?
How you doing, Quinn?
Well, yeah, but I didn't want to break eardrums today because I think if I tried that, it would be at a frequency only dogs can hear. So it's a little less effective.
Oh my gosh. What a night. A flip, a blindside, emotions everywhere. We haven't even had the HOH competition yet. So what a Taran, what an exciting night.
Yeah, Rob, this was like a good double eviction, but it wasn't even a double eviction.
Mm-hmm.
This was Judd leaving in BB15. Tears are flowing. It's a big move. But better than that. This was the pinnacle of what this twist could deliver in terms of how the lead up to it, the execution of it. They actually strategized. It probably actually mattered.
Can you believe it? There was actually strategizing.
Looks like you made up for strategizing from the first 3 weeks of not strategizing. Hey, Julie!
Couldn't help her.
So much attitude. Looks like you guys are finally doing what I told you to do, huh?
Yeah, what will we ever strategize? Sit down.
All right, let's just set the stage here for what's coming up. We are waiting for the feeds to come back. There will be a wall comp tonight. When that begins, we will continue to bring you coverage of the competition on the wall, assuming it starts while this podcast is going on. In the morning, Taran and I will speak with young Cedric himself with an exit interview, so be on the lookout for that. Then at noon, Taran and Puya will get together with everything that happens overnight with our live feed update, and at 3 p.m., Taran and I will be taking calls from the patrons. Once again, patrons will send out the link, robhasawebsite.com/patron, for the link to call in. But Kirsten, what an exciting, emotional night here in Big Brother 26.
I forgot how it feels to really care about what's happening during an eviction episode. Like, the tension was so high, emotions were so high, and every little thing just mattered so much. Like, my heart was just racing.
Yeah, it really was a super interesting lead up to what was going to happen. Taran, how did you feel like in terms of because I thought they had to scramble a lot to get this into the first part of the episode. How do you feel like they did in terms of trying to thread that needle?
I mean, yeah, they hit the basics. They got what they needed in there. They definitely were scrambling. They had to tell sort of 3 weeks of story in 15 minutes. And then, 2 days worth of contemplating conversations, will they, won't they, and all this stuff until it finally, this was down to the wire. And this is the unfortunate thing that they weren't able to capture, but this was truly down to the wire. We went into this episode feeds having cut before they locked this flip in. And as far as we know, it wasn't fully locked in until like literally 5 seconds before the vote. Like after Julie called them back in, they had to talk to Leah after Chelsea left and be like, Leah, are you good to do this? And then it was locked in. So yeah, there was a lot of that they missed, of course, but like I think they did their best in terms of where they were.
Yeah, they threw a lot at us in the beginning of the episode. Can I make an admission here, just amongst friends? If you would have asked me before the podcast, before the episode came on, who was in 5 points, I could not have told you any of the members of 5 points.
This was the introduction of 5 points.
I did not know anything. I think I've heard the words 5 points, but I could not have told you. Even after they made the alliance, I had to go back 30 seconds. Wait, who's in 5 points? It's like, oh, it's the Showmance, the Friendmance, and Brooklyn. And somehow Brooklyn's still blindsided.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly like a solid. I called them 4 points, quite frankly, because Brooklyn was not really a part of it.
Okay.
Angela's going to take her place. She's fine with being on the bottom.
Yeah.
I can feel
Angela and Brooklyn just getting switched in and out of alliances at will for each other.
Listen,
but
they're
this was the prophecy. Yes.
Yeah.
Jason, she knew. Angela knew there could only be one. They're like Highlander.
There can only be one trad wife.
Well, but here's the question, though. Is there a level of hierarchy between married mother, married grandmother? Like, is that higher up? Does that matter more? Just worth a thought.
Yeah. All right, this is it. Not our place. Not our place to rank the mothers. They're all mothers to us. Okay. But
we do that next Summer of Big Brother on a special Summer of Big Brother episode.
Yeah. Off-season bracket, mother's bracket.
Okay. Cedric leaving the house. Everybody's very upset. Taran, what does this mean for the future of the house?
A lot. And quite frankly, the HOH means a lot. Because basically, T-Core and Chemo have drawn a line in the sand. They've broken up the collective. They've taken a deep shot at the Pentagon. And that means that, going into this competition, Cam, Chelsea, and Brooklyn are in a must-win situation because, theoretically, a lot of people will be targeting them. Now, where Quinn stands in all of this is possibly a question. Quinn still has to deal with Tucker, can't really afford to keep shooting at the Pentagon, and also seemed pretty upset. He was not, as far as we know, let in on this plan to flip things.
Before we left, Quinn was like, let it be a wall comp. Quinn is pretty confident he's going to win. He seems pretty fired up.
And that could have been playing it up for the sake of the Pentagon to make to feel like so that they don't feel like he betrayed them. But I assume that T-Core and Chemo planned to out to the Pentagon that they knew about the Pentagon as the reason for why they flipped. And so basically the house is divided right now into the remnants of the Pentagon, the remnants of the 5 points / 4 points alliance, and then the people who will be happy to be in the middle, like Leah, MJ, Joseph, and probably Quinn, maybe, depending on where Tucker lands. And it'll really where the future of this game depends on who wins this HOH competition.
Do we know if Quinn has to throw this or is he eligible to win?
I mean, we were told he is eligible. Everybody's playing, so. Which
I don't know if he had to get up there and then just fall off because he's quote unquote the secret HOH or what.
I mean, they've been doing the wall built for a little bit of taller competitors recently, so maybe they just think it's fine and he won't win.
Okay. Let's talk about the AI arena. And this took a minute to ultimately land. And, Julie was very focused on making sure that we were talking about our spheres tonight. So no chance to
cue the balls.
But we were rolling our spheres up and down. It was looking like for a minute that maybe nobody was going to get it. Cedric was so bad at this.
I thought this was pretty risky. I was like, what happens if we just keep rolling this ball up and down this thing for an hour? Like, what is? And then finally they figured it out and really locked in.
Well, they figured it out, but Taran, this was like the classic Big Brother move of like, okay, we're on Rabina. Rubina is going to win according from our perspective, and we're waiting for Rubina to push the button, and it's like, we have a winner. Makensy, what? Where was that?
Expert camera work.
It's like, Rob, they have a split screen. They have a wide shot. I don't understand how, like, why is it so difficult? And let me tell you, Rob, this isn't even just a Big Brother problem. This is, I watched the climbing at the Olympics. They have the same problem there when there are multiple people on the wall. They have a split screen. They don't use it. I don't understand what is going on with live production. That like you can't just show everybody at the same time. It's so simple to me. But you know, I think it could have been much better, but it still was very exciting. I thought I was definitely I noticed that MJ was knocking a bunch of the spheres down and that she was probably going to come close. And so when they did cut back to MJ, I was like, oh, there it is. Like it was still a very great way to start a very great night of Big Brother in terms of how everything was happening.
Kirsten, do we think that somewhere Matt smashed a flat screen TV?
I mean, maybe it could happen. Stranger things have certainly happened.
So close.
They deny me my love again.
Can't. She's actually my jury.
This is a best case scenario for MJ. Is I think distance is good for her here, so that's good.
She's safe. She's safe
protect MJ 2024.
Every day away from crazy eyes is a day saved.
Okay. Everybody came back in the house. This was so exciting. People were grabbing each other, and we got to see some conversations happening. We saw Cedric pulls over Chemo, T-Core, Angela. You got me, right? You got me.
Listen,
right?
I mean, Julie.
In a way.
But Julie finally figured it out. She told them before they all came down, okay, listen, we're going to set this up. You guys must please strategize. She didn't say it while they were commiserating together. She finally got it together and did it beforehand. So they actually listened. And I thought it really gave that double eviction type energy where we're listening in on like conversations and pep talks. And I think we saw Brooklyn trying to prepare Rubina for getting evicted just to have it like fly right back in her face. It was just peak television.
Yeah. No, it was so great. Everyone was talking to just the absolute wrong people for the blind side to not happen. Like with Rubina talking to Brooklyn for so long, you know, that keeps Brooklyn from finding out more about what's going on, maybe alerting people. Cedric is pulling not the people whose minds he could possibly change, which like I don't know that that's his fault, but it just really all boiled together to create a really classic blindside.
Yeah. We had such a great moment with Cedric and Tucker, and Tucker pulls Cedric pulls Tucker over and asks him about it, like, hey, we had our thing, but we're good now. Come on, I need the support. The Cedric and Tucker storyline is so interesting, going back to that Tucker decided that they were going to do this plan and that Cedric was going to put Quinn up on the block, and that Cedric did not go through with it. He told Tucker, we don't have the votes. Tucker feels betrayed by all of this. Cedric, I think, was being like totally like the responsible thing to do. Like, yeah, we can't do this. Don't have the votes. And then this kind of like haunts him over the course of the week. Obviously, the fatal flaw was volunteering to go up on the block, but he puts himself in this position where there's still this vendetta against him, and he puts himself in the way of this plot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's No, I think it's funny he volunteered as competition to Tucker, and then he just ends up getting beat out by Rubina and MJ, who he probably thought he had all the chance in the world. He told us that he had all the chance in the world because he'd been beating them before. So what's the problem now? But yeah, it really just came back to bite him real hard.
And they have this one moment before Cedric is about to get voted out.
I'm not gonna lie, I was mad that we were watching that because I knew that they were talking about the flip in the other room. And that conversation did not matter.
Well, maybe
it was
you
the
get
same
that on
conversation.
Sunday.
we've seen
Maybe you
the
get that on
feeds for what it's
Sunday.
worth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Just
So-
wild.
Feeds, I believe, are back. They are not on the wall right now.
Yeah. They've been seemingly like the last couple of Thursdays. Seems like it's about an hour before they do the comp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like that's what it's going to be at this point. They're not even like changed.
They're not
or
even
anything.
in comp clothes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we get our speeches here. Rubina, vote for me to stay on a personal level. I love you all greatly. Pretty basic speech from Rubina, right?
It's basic, but like I think what makes this better is that things are genuinely up in the air and there's a lot of emotion because like this is an eventuality that they weren't super prepared for. And that like genuinely they both feel like they might go home.
Now Cedric gets up there. Cedric's very choked up in his speech.
Well, there was a fly.
There's
Yeah,
a fire.
It was a fly.
I
Well,
don't even know why you would say he's choked up when he's actually just cold as
choking on
ice.
a
But
fly.
there was a
Yeah.
fly. It literally flew into his mouth. So messed up that you'd even
Mhm.
say that. But just like imagine being in the Cedric situation. You were literally HOH last week, and you are only on the block right now because you volunteered yourself to do it because you thought that you could win a competition. You lost the veto, you lost the AI arena, and now it's a situation like as Taran said, no one was really prepared for, and you might go home. I like just the fact that he volunteered himself and that it was just like the last 2 weeks are kind of like the fall of Cedric in two parts. Like I really am feeling for him.
Yeah. I mean, it really is really when we just take a step back, you know, from where we came from last week, where, okay, Quinn was trying to get, trying to get Tucker out of the house or Tucker wanted Quinn to go up on the block on Cedric's HOH. And then the plan turned around and then it was going to be Tucker if he didn't win the AI arena. Of all the things that Quinn is going to use his power and hijacks an HOH, and on Quinn's hacker deep fake HOH, Tucker somehow gets Cedric out.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't say Tucker gets Cedric out, to be fair.
Well, Tucker gets what he
Cedric got Cedric out. Let's
Yeah.
be
I would
honest.
say T-Core and Chemo got Cedric out.
I would argue
Sure.
that to Tucker got Cedric
Yes.
out.
his power.
That's his power. But, and you know what? Maybe he's fine to believe that because the way T-Core and Chemo played it very demure, they didn't do too much. They didn't campaign like all these other players did. They're not going crazy. So, very cutesy.
Crazy stuff. Okay. Let's talk about the votes.
Ooh.
Okay.
It was so interesting because we started out with the Cedric votes. I'm like, okay, they're trying to get us. They're trying to make us think it's going to be Cedric. Good job. And then Chemo comes in, and it's like, all right, here comes the Rubina vote, and it's like, oh, Cedric. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, here we go. We're playing Big Brother now.
You know, we haven't talked this through that if Rubina won the AI arena, would MJ have gotten voted out over Cedric?
Yeah.
So this was the only scenario where Cedric goes home.
Yeah, MJ needed to win that or she was going home.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And she did
And
that.
it was close.
Yeah.
She's clutch. She keeps winning these things by seconds, by less than
Mhm.
seconds.
Yeah. So Sam has a screenshot. This was how close. I guess is Rabina about to push the button? Does she not know she needs to push the button?
I think she's about to.
I think she's
Yeah.
just about
Well,
that.
that's
That
Mackenzie pushing it.
honestly, that could be a height thing, right? Like
Oh, yeah.
MJ's longer stride literally just got her to the button faster.
Rabina had to
That's
jump
wild.
to get it. She had to jump to get on that button.
She needed to literally do a long jump, like get a
I'm
trampoline
pretty-
involved.
Get that protein, Rabina. Get
I'm
that
pretty
protein on the
sure.
fridge.
I could be wrong. I think that Rubina finished knocking the spheres down faster than MJ did, but MJ got to the buzzer faster.
Yeah, well, MJ's
than
spears in this picture are
Rubina
still
did.
going down. Like,
I
she
feel
was
like
on it.
when Rabina started running, MJ still had at least 2 spheres that she needed to knock down. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, MJ wins because she could just take one long step with those 6'2" legs and just
One
boom.
MJ stride is 3 Rubina strides. So,
At least.
you
It might
gotta
even
be.
be more.
yeah.
Let's get to the votes. We see Tucker up first. Tucker votes for Cedric. Then we get an MJ vote for Cedric.
That immediately, like knowing what was going on, as soon as MJ votes for Cedric, it was over. They did not exactly to do the votes in the order of giving things away, because Tikor and Kimo they had said we're voting for Cedric regardless at this point, whether the vote goes through. And so they were very much relying on MJ and Leah. And so the fact that we got both MJ and Leah before the commercial was like, oh, well, we know then. It's over.
Well, but to be fair, that's like, we know people who are really locked in and paying attention, but it,
Yeah,
like
Dirty
the
Cabs is
general
like
audience
me.
didn't know.
Dirty Cabs is like me. We're waiting for the Chemo T-Core votes. That's what set it for me, because that's what the
We're
show
also
told
getting
me.
the Cedric and Tucker conversation instead of the one where they're actually talking about the flip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've realized, Taran, like most people do not watch TV how we watch TV.
Of
Like
course not.
even just like a regular show, so like the initiating thing happens. I'm like, oh, this is the obvious conclusion. And then it's like, Kirsten, like you just literally ruined another episode of TV. Like, can you please just stop?
I mean, can we talk about the like emotion in the votes, or like the people that were flipping? were
Yes.
they were like acting like they were putting down the BB26 puppy. That's just how
And the
they
old
were.
yeller, literally.
yeah, it's like
Young
"Oh,
Cedric.
But then T-Core walks in like a queen and just like, I vote to evict Cedric. Gets up, just walks out. No shout outs, no nothing. She's like, get Cedric out of here. I'm out. Peace.
Who are
Pentagon's
you?
down. Pentagon going down. I was like, oh my
Okay,
god.
be careful with your wording.
Yeah. Oh,
Jason.
sorry.
I
I'm
just want
sorry.
you to
I'm
end up on
sorry.
a list. Oh my
Yes.
god. First Taran talks about shooting at, then this is crazy. Who were you most surprised by the like high? I was really shocked at how upset Joseph was while casting his vote.
Mhm.
Well, I wasn't even sure Joseph was going to vote the right way.
So yeah, so Joseph was the person they went to first earlier today. Joseph was hesitant, which makes sense because this move, not the best for Joseph, was not optimal. But basically, I think he realized, oh, they have the votes to do this even without me, and basically told them, if you do get MJ and Leah, let me know, and I'm on board. AKA, I don't want to be on the wrong side of this. And so I think that's basically where he came down.
Yeah. What about the collective? Is the collective okay, Taran?
No.
No, Joseph! We were rooting for you.
The collective is done.
No.
Demolished.
And oh no, the death of an 8-person alliance. Boo hoo. So sad.
Mm-hmm. All right. We played the clip before, but Quinn goes to the tyrant room. Julie tells him he doesn't have a vote.
How you doing, Quinn?
Honestly, so relatable. There's been a lot of discourse, capital D discourse, about the way Quinn acts in and out of the house. And I think I can say with complete certainty, this is the first time Quinn has done the exact thing I probably would have done in that situation.
I mean, this was 3 for 3, the worst possible 3 competition outcomes that he could have experienced for what he wanted to do this week.
Mhm.
It was his first target was Tucker, who won the veto. His second target was MJ, who won the AI arena competition. His third target was Rubina, and the votes flipped.
Yeah, well, that's how it is sometimes, right? Like
That's how it
This
is
is
sometimes.
big.
Sounds
I
real
was
snake eyes.
wild.
Yeah.
Welcome to Big Brother. Expect the unexpected for
This is
once.
big effing brother.
Yep. Sometimes you have 3 people you want to go home, and
And none of them do. But I feel like just the fact that he didn't actually vote, like, I mean, he might be able to navigate his way through this well. We'll see.
do Chemo and T-Core have a next target, Taran?
Not really. I mean,
Like
This guy
they
looked
accomplished the
into
mission.
this.
yeah,
It's
this was
going
to
to take
save
at least
Rubina.
3 weeks to get another target.
Honestly, it wouldn't like super surprise me. I don't think Chemo would do this, but I do think that it's like not impossible that like if the veto has been won by somebody and it's not Tucker, that like that T-Core could turn around and take out Tucker because she still wants him gone. But more likely they now have bigger fish to fry, and Chelsea and Brooklyn will be their new main targets because Chelsea and Brooklyn seem to be upset at what happened. Brooklyn in particular, I think from what I'm seeing so far, is kind of going off. And you know what we heard them say at the end of the episode, like something about she and we'll deal with her or something along those lines. So I'm assuming that they were talking about either Brooklyn or Chelsea, and that person would be their target.
Okay.
At the end of the episode, when T-Core says, "We did that," chills, full body chills. Amazing.
We did that.
The
We
queen
did that.
has ascended her throne.
Okay. Big moment. Cedric, by a vote of 6-3, you're evicted. He assures everybody it's all good. It's all good. Would like to see how the vote. I'm interested to see who voted for me, but it's all good. It's all good.
Well, and then this is where I feel like Julie was a little wild in this interview as well, because she's trying to get Cedric to guess, like, okay, who voted like to keep you, and then when he gets it right and said, like, she just confirms it, and then he's like, oh yeah, that's pretty much about it, because obviously he doesn't want to like say he had bad opinions on TV, so then we just don't get to hear who else he thinks might have done it.
Listen, Julie saw Cedric come out the door with a Bible in his hand, and she was just for Clint.
She loved him.
She lost it.
You know, in fairness, Cedric seemed very happy to see Julie also.
They seem happy to see each other.
I don't know.
I think Les better watch out.
Julie had
Les
some
better-
like stiff arm. She kind of was like, "Hey,
She's like, oh, I got business to take care of. I gotta do business. I'm
If-
sorry. Like she was lost in the sauce.
If he had just quoted one line of scripture in that interview,
I mean, the man
in
is holding
addition
a
to
Bible.
holding
What
the
else do you
Bible,
want from him?
reference, like, he could have opened it up and been like, "Oh yes, this is the one that I wish to use," and that would have taken Julie absolutely over the top. Like
If he
Cedric
would've
on
come
God
up-
101 tomorrow.
Yeah, if he was just come up and said, Julie, can we take a quick prayer for just 1 second? Julie would have done it. She would have paused.
we
the
hold
program
hands?
And done it. Yeah,
Can we
Let's
hold
do it.
hands while I pray?
forever in his name.
No, Julie, it was like 8:53. Julie is like staring into that clock. She knows like this is like the time's running out. She's not gonna like go over the
She
9
knows-
o'clock time limit.
She knows she gets shocked if she goes over 1 second over 9 o'clock.
Shocked.
She raced through that interview. Extended interview. I think she's gonna have some more
yeah.
fun with Cedric.
I hope.
Class
so.
act right here. Class act.
Class act. Classy guy.
Loves God.
Oh, when she goes, when he goes, sorry for yelling, that did break my heart a
Oh.
little bit. I didn't even think he was yelling, but I'm just a loud person. So
Sweet summer child.
When Cedric came out, the first thing he heard about was the AI instigator, which
Yeah.
we learned about tonight. I don't really know what the point is of the AI
Okay,
instigator.
yeah, I was gonna say, I was
Rob.
gonna ask, is this a safe space? Because I
Yeah.
feel like even with the full explanation, I don't really understand what it
Yeah.
does, who it's for, or how it would
I'm
actually help.
a
someone in the
little
game.
confused. Okay, so we're voting on somebody that is going to be the AI instigator.
Mhm.
And so what? On Sunday, we find out that it's Tucker?
Yeah, I mean, on
it's-
whichever episode they're going to
Sure.
reveal it. That's when
I'm,
we find
I'm
out it's
excited
Tucker.
for what Tucker's going to say.
Yeah.
It is a deep fake AI
So
voice.
so then he gets to deep fake somebody, and then there's a second vote where we decide if he did a good job, and if he did, we give him money. Is that
That's what I got.
did I understand that correctly?
Yes.
But
So-
can they have
so
Tucker actually record
basically-
the lines, though, is my question. Can they have
Basically,
him
they're
record the
just
lines?
they're just Rob. This twist serves two purposes. One, they never got to use their hologram thing.
Yeah.
They only got to use it for the nominate. It was supposed to be spreading misinformation all week long. It was supposed to have that whole thing, but because Quinn's power was outed, they didn't get to do it. And I even mentioned, I was like, this is really it? Oh, they got this whole hologram thing just for this? So this twist is there so that they can actually use their hologram thing. And it's there to give Tucker money. It's a two-purpose twist.
So
This
Tucker,
is
is he
yeah.
going to be able to make people say things like, or we're going to get another vision of a Cam saying something mean about Chelsea or something? Is that what this is for? I don't know. I don't understand.
It's gonna be Cam being like, I never cared for Chelsea.
Yeah.
And yeah, people will believe that.
That'll
Chelsea, your
mess
breath
with them.
stinks.
Yeah. But how much money are we giving for this?
Whatever the top amount is.
Mm-hmm.
Normally when there's weird twists and votes or whatever on this show, it's like you can draw a line to how it actually will have an impact or benefit anything. And this is like, really? They just wanted to use the stupid like deep fake
Yeah.
thing?
This is best case scenario.
Yeah.
This is in America's vote that is not going to impact the game in any significant way. That's amazing. I'm
Mhm.
ecstatic.
I
This is
think at the
like
very
I
least-
was so relieved.
At the least, we're gonna get some good laughs
You're
out
right
of this.
about
So
that.
I appreciate it for what it is. It's just like a little extra thing for us to have fun with. So I'm not that mad at it.
Yeah, it just is so weird that the prize is that you get money, like not even like power or any sort of advantage. Like this is unusual. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying this is odd.
So are there going to be people saying things through this that are true during the week as well, so that we don't know what's true and what's like? Does everyone have to go and film some stuff, and
No,
some
that's-
true things will be said and some fake ones will be said, or is it just like anything
the-
that comes up on this screen is bullshit and we all know it?
Well, yeah.
I'm sure that's
I
what they're
mean,
gonna think.
It's up to like it's basically an outlet for Tucker to say things publicly without being attached to it publicly.
Oh, I wish this had happened when
It's like
we
the
used to listen
circle
to
when you do
house.
anonymous things and somebody's like, "Oh, I think this person is a catfish." Everyone, and they're
Mhm.
like, "Who said that? Who said that? I'm not a catfish."
Mhm.
Like it's gonna be like that.
But on the circle, like the stuff is coming in and you believe it. But when so let's say Quinn pops up on the screen as a deep fake and is like calling everybody a bunch of I forget what he called Tucker last week. Nerdizoids.
Dorkatrons.
Yeah.
McDorkatron. I think.
McDorkatron. Like T-Core is a McDorkatron.
I mean, I think that's my last name, isn't it? I don't know. Awkward.
Mhm. and then what?
It's just there to make
He's
TV.
like,
Like,
"No, I didn't say
guys,
that."
this is reality TV 101. It won't have any impact on
It's
the
for a
game.
segment.
They can
It's for a
edit
segment
it
on a
that
day.
somebody's in the
Taran?
diary room saying, "Oh wow, I can't believe this was said. I wonder if it's true," but they won't actually care.
In 2 weeks' time, when there is actually something exciting happening and then the whole show is deep fakes and people reacting to it and you're mad about the editing of the show, Taran, play this clip back. This is what you
It will
wanted. You
still be
asked for
better
this.
than the whole show being taken up by America's power player getting to invalidate the results of whatever week happened.
Yeah, who even what are we doing here? This was such a good episode of Big Brother, and I just want to be excited. And all
We're excited. We're excited. We're confused
I
about.
enjoy this.
Yeah.
This
Jason likes it.
This was
I
my
like
favorite part of the episode, was finding out this wasn't a stupid twist that's going to ruin things.
Okay.
Go.
There's optimism for you.
This is just wild.
Mm-hmm. What else from the show tonight? We had the funny moment where we
listen.
Yes?
I haven't laughed at Big Brother a whole lot as much as I guffawed and laughed out loud in the Angela busting in on this non-alliance meeting. I have to say I haven't laughed that hard at Big Brother in a long time.
Yeah.
I had missed that she was laying down by the door before this. Like, that's something that got lost in translation for me. And so to see her just laying there, like, I knew it, barging in, please.
And I mean,
Let me be part of
See,
this.
this is what happens when you don't watch the video version of the updates, because you would have seen me laying on my floor.
Yeah, I listened to the
I'm gonna
podcast. I heard
have to
AJ
go
narrate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I've
Here's
heard
the
of busting.
problem.
Go ahead, Kirsten.
Here's the problem. Sometimes we have to listen to the podcast while we're working, and we can't watch a video podcast, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
I missed out on that one.
So she came in and she's following Tucker. She sees that he's in a group. She wants to come in. She invites herself to the alliance, which I don't think anybody's ever done before.
No.
She's a game
You know what?
changer.
She's
Joseph
on the
basically did
bottom,
that.
and she's on the bottom, and she wants to be in the game. A lot of people who are on the absolute outs don't even do anything to try. So at least she's tried something.
But she's okay with being at the bottom.
I can be on the bottom.
But okay, here's actually, I don't know if this is a universal experience or not, so please forgive me to anyone who doesn't relate to this, but I feel like the combination of Angela going right in there and she's asking, and this is what she wants, and she's couching, oh, it's okay if I'm on the bottom, I just want to be a part of it, blah, 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 blah. And then the next day being like, oh, Tucker, I'm so embarrassed. I shouldn't have done that. You don't have to include me. Guilt tripping Tucker. She is trying to make Tucker feel bad so that he feels obligated to include her. That is not her being, oh, no worries if not. It's like very mom behavior, not mother behavior. This is mom, like
Married
code
mom?
number 2, guilt trips.
This is cool mom bursting in like the Kool-Aid man on a slumber party, being like,
Hey,
what are you kids talking about? Like, I'll let you guys drink. I'm the cool mom. Just let me eat part of the
I'd rather you do it in the house.
Yeah, like this is what that was giving for sure.
You guys making alliances in here?
Do you need anything? Snacks? A condom?
I used to make alliances back in your day. I understand. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill in the chat says Gen X mom realness, and that period.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
You kids doing okay in here?
It was a great moment.
Let me in.
Does this give any credence to Angela with that's the group a whole scenario from a couple of weeks ago? I mean, this
No.
kind of was another. This kind of
say
was
it's
another
every group.
like that's a group I want to be in.
Yeah, a broken clock is right twice a day, Rob. Stop it. Anytime there's a collection, and that's the thing with her being so wrong so much. If that group had just been like, join what? Like, we're just talking about what we like to get on pizza when we're not in the house. Like, you please join our conversation. Like, they could have maneuvered out of it, but not one of them tried to even pretend that they weren't in an alliance.
Yeah, they did edit that. Like, nobody said anything to her for a while, and there was a long, like, awkward pause. But that wasn't actually true. That wasn't what happened. They immediately responded and were like, "Oh no, but like, we're looking out for you."
Yeah,
It's
which
like
is again not denying the fact that they're
Exactly.
an alliance.
and it was
They
like in a TV
completely
show.
didn't deny it.
It was like in a TV show when someone has to make up a name and they just look at the first thing they see, like, my name is Bicycle Restaurant Tron. They're just like, what should we name it? Tanks. There are tanks right there. We'll name it Tanks.
Yeah. The Tucker eyes darting back and forth. They love this guy.
Oh yeah, he's a star. They're gonna rig this so that Tucker and Angela stay in the house. They're gonna get their final 2 of Mother Tucker. They're gonna get it.
Tucker and Angela for the Amazing Race. Whenever they make
100%.
another one. Be great.
I still think Angela and Matt would be a fun Amazing Race team. Do they do rivals teams on the Amazing Race ever?
Well,
Not
here's the thing
often.
about Angela and Tucker.
I want to know where Tucker is at all times. My eyes are on that kid.
Helicopter parent.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be keeping right up with him and on the Amazing Race.
Yeah.
She'll be right there. She'll always know what country he's in, which I think would be really important for her.
Mm-hmm.
I want to invite the audience to write in questions for us here tonight. But Taran, is there anything else about tonight's episode that you want to highlight?
I mean, it was just a great episode. It was just like this is what Big Brother is capable.
Big freaking brother.
It would have been great if it was set up better, if they didn't waste their time on other things that were not relevant to the plot line to lead us here. But they did do a decent job of catching us up over the last 2 episodes. Ironically, not in the catch-up episode, but we got here. It was really exciting. It was exciting, I think, both for casual viewers and for people that were following the feeds. And so, who knows where things go from here? But similar to last season when we had the big flip there, like at least we've got this one because this one was good.
Okay. All right.
Did anyone get... Why did Julie say wall like that at the end of the episode?
How'd she say it?
It was like... Wow. Like, it was really weird the way she said it. I was hoping someone had a
Can you
clip.
do that? Can you do that again, Kirsten, so we can get it clean? Take a nice flavor.
I don't think I could if I tried.
Wow.
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 It was weird. Did anyone else notice?
I can see if I can bring it up from the episode to see if there's anything there. But I think she's trying to get people psyched.
Not Apollo in the chat saying the Holy Spirit.
It got to her. It got her. It got her.
Mm-hmm. Waluigi? That's what Max is saying.
Wow.
A little bit like Waluigi.
Okay. All right. Big question everybody wants to know. All right. Who's got the wall comp?
I want it to be Tucker. I really do. I just want to see
There's
that
a few
chaos.
options for people that
You think I
fit the
can win a
mold
wall
of who have
comp?
typically won.
I can hold on to a wall with the best of them, kid. Just like something you would say.
I love when Tucker does... Sometimes Tucker pulls faces and he really reminds me of Jim Carrey in The Mask. And so I'm hopeful that we'll get lots of that while he's on the wall tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of options here. And it will really depend on it's going to depend on what is the height of the handles? Does it match up with the height that you are? That's a big one.
Not looking great for Quinn.
I mean, not necessarily. If it's really just because there are 3 handles. If your hand kind of naturally falls in between the handles, that sucks for you. If you naturally are going to rest on one of the handles, whether it's low because you're tall, or low because you're short, or high because you're tall, that's better for you. And then there is a matter of grip strength. Quinn has rock climbed. I don't know how much. I was just sent this. Quinn has tweeted out before, hey, pictures of him rock climbing, saying I'm ready for the wall. I did look. It was a V0.
Just trying to follow your step.
I don't know how much he climbs. That's the entry level climb essentially. And then even then, it's grip strength will only take you so far. It's really about again positioning. So, I think there are a lot of different people that could possibly win this.
Well, and I think so. Brooklyn, Joseph, and Quinn probably all have heard the interviews with Taylor about wearing the hoodie to keep your hands better when the water gets splashed on. So that's a good tactic to use. But I feel like Tucker, Cam, and MJ are all kind of in the height range of people who've done really well recently. So I would personally bet on one of those 3 probably winning.
All right, Kirsten, I have queued up Julie announcing the wall comp. Okay.
Now, I only
Here's-
just before you play it, I only heard her do it once. So like I wasn't doing like a perfect impression. I wasn't I
Okay,
don't think
well,
she
let's see.
actually sounded like that.
Okay. All right. Here's stay right here and see my extended interview with Cedric.
BS tomorrow. Tune in Sunday at 9, 8 Central as the battle for head of household heats up with the classic wall competition. And since
Classic wall
said it was
competition.
Wall.
Wall.
Like why'd you say it like that?
I wish I
Classic.
still lived in the reality where she said, "Wow."
That was not
I wish you hadn't
honestly.
played that. I
That
wish
was
you hadn't
the
played that.
wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
That was the.
All right.
I'm gonna stand in my truth. I was pretty close. I feel good about what I said earlier.
All right. Lainey wants to know, Rob, who are you voting for to be the AI instigator? All right, well, this is a very coveted endorsement from Rob Sesternino, RHAP. Who is Rob going to endorse for the AI instigator? I'm going to put my finger on the scale, okay? I am endorsing Tucker to win the AI instigator. Okay, oh, don't
That's
come
gonna
at
do
me
it.
when he wins, okay?
That's gonna
I'm
do it. I
sorry.
think, Rob,
I'm
I think
sorry.
your
Wow.
endorsement
Yeah,
is
that's it.
gonna make this
Yeah.
happen.
He was never going to win.
Sorry,
before
everybody
this, Rob.
else.
He's not well liked. He's not just getting the screen time like that. But now,
Sorry to
It's
all the
over.
other fandoms. Don't come at me, okay? I'm sorry.
Listen,
Maybe next week I'll endorse your fave, okay?
if
they should
nothing
be
else,
campaigning to you for your endorsement.
if nothing else, this instigator thing will be perfect fodder for the slop. So I think we won either way.
We won.
Look, who better to be the AI instigator than a man who came up with that plan that Cedric did not execute on last week? Come on. That was creative.
I mean, you just know that like Tucker's messages are gonna be like coming from a hologram Lisa. I was not a chef, dog.
I mean, I'm assuming this is another one of those votes where you just like put in the email address and vote for who you want. So I'm assuming someone else has already voted for me, because that's what happened with the last America's vote.
You got deep faked. Deep fake
Yeah,
voted.
I got deep fakes. They voted for Cam.
All right. So let's how about a question from Gyal. Did Tikor and Chemo flip on Quinn? Is the Visionaries over?
Seems like they might be blind now.
Oh.
They did again, as far as we know, they did not let Quinn know that this was happening. But I don't know that the Visionaries are. I think he will go back to them and be like, "Listen, guys, why don't you just talk to me and tell me?"
Well, we also got in this episode Quinn talking about how the Visionaries, like, yeah, I'm in the Pentagon, but the people I care the most about are Tikor and Chemo.
Yeah. To the extent that he told them way too much.
Mhm.
Like, and we saw it directly here, and this took place a long time ago, and so these diary rooms were probably not in the moment. They were probably more a couple weeks later. But still, I think the causation is there that like you can in your mind think, oh, I'll tell them about all of my alliances. I'm being honest with them. It will make them trust me more. The reality is what you're telling them is I have other options and you don't. It's going to make them feel bad and maybe bad about you. Like when Paul was the go-between in their like massive, big alliance structure, and Paul was like, well, I can go talk to these people. They didn't explicitly say, oh, I'm in a final 3 with Jason and Kat,
Whistle
I'm not in a I'm in a final 3 with the showmans, Matt and Raven. No, he's just like, oh well, let me go talk to them. I'll go see what they're thinking. And so like you can't just tell if they're not in the alliance. Don't tell them about the alliance. If you have to make up an excuse for it later, you just do that. Oh yeah, sorry I didn't tell you. It just wasn't a big deal.
So
there's no amount of money that I would have bet that we would have been talking about BB19 tonight. That's wow.
is the betrayal of T-Core and Chemo to the collective big enough to outsize the target on Tucker if someone in the collective, the old collective, wins the HOH comp?
I don't think so. I think that if Tucker is available, you need to take that shot because he is the strongest soldier on that side. And the problem becomes if you can't take that shot, the obvious shot is T-Core and Chemo.
One, like, you need to put more people than just Tucker on the block. I don't think people are going to be volunteering so much for that moving forward. Hopefully they learn their lesson a little bit here. So it's risky, but it's also like, again, if you're going to make a move, I think better to make the move sooner than later when there's more pieces on the board that you can pick up and build a new structure with.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what happens if the Pentagon Remnants win is that Leah and MJ compete with T-Core and Chemo for who gets to like play the middle, essentially. Can T-Core and Chemo repair their relationship enough with Chelsea, Cam, and Brooklyn to stay on their good side to be like, hey, we're not with Tucker. We just wanted to keep Rubina. We're still with you though. MJ and Leah still suck. And then MJ and Leah, Rubina are the pawns for Tucker, or are MJ and Leah going to be able to capitalize on this and be able to play the middle because they weren't the ones that betrayed. They were just in the midst of things.
Yeah.
Do we think AI Arena could be ending after this week?
I don't see why. I mean,
I really hope
we
not.
saw the result of it tonight.
Because this is
then,
one of the
like,
better twists they've ever done, really.
They got the result. Is any week going to be as exciting as this week? Like, what if the twist got put to bed before it got old and ruined things? You
We're
know?
talking about
Like,
the people
wouldn't
that
be
did Battle of the
nice?
Block for a second season.
Well, yeah, but like, this is where I'm like, what if? What if they learned from that? What if
You want to
they
go out on top?
did something different? Like, I feel like it's much better to just like go out on a win and be like, this worked. This was perfect. Nothing will top this. Let's just let it go. We could bring it back next year and it will have like a good reputation.
I mean, this is like their first successful game twist since like the golden power of veto. I think
You
that
want
they're
them
going
to
to
walk
milk
out of
it
the
for
casino
all
now?
it's
Yeah,
worth.
no way.
Like this could be the
We're
new
up.
format from now on. As far as like, I think that they're probably in love with
man.
this.
Okay.
I don't
Melissa
like
wants to know who's
that.
going to host the wall comp. Ainsley?
Yeah,
I
it's
would be
gonna be
surprised.
like. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we had an old house guest on deck to come in and host it. I wouldn't be shocked at that at all.
You think so? I don't think we haven't had that in a long time.
You don't need a host.
What
for
if
the
they have
wall.
an AI of an old house guest?
Deep fake.
A deep fake to host it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was just 3 BB winners there not that long ago. Maybe they took all of their images to use.
Maybe Cody had a cot in the back and he's just been chilling for a few days.
Did
Yeah.
anyone ask Taylor or Jag? Did they get scanned? Did they give their likeness to CBS?
Well, we know where Jags whereabouts were a couple days ago, so
A couple days ago, but maybe when they
maybe
found.
went back.
You couldn't have come up with this question last night?
Well, no, nobody asked me, Rob. Maybe I would have if I'd been there.
Okay. Any sleeper contenders for the wall comp? Steven wants to know.
I mean, I wouldn't completely count out like Brooklyn.
Maybe
You know,
Cam,
like it's
'cause he has
possible.
his
Like
That
sleeping.
rage could fuel her.
it's possible. Like Rubina would be a contender in normal circumstances. The new wall hasn't been great for shorter people like that, but you never know. She might be like just the right size. It's just about like the lottery of like what size are you that I think really matters, and also like what position on the wall are you. If we recall that last season, it was just about like the fact that the right side of the wall was not covered in slime nearly as much as anywhere else, and so Jared was able to like he didn't even need to do the like sweatshirt
sleeve
sleeve
thing.
thing, which didn't work for them in that because they fixed that that solve. So it's I think there's potentially some luck involved in terms of height and position, but we'll see.
Okay.
Better question: who do you want to get pushed first so they don't win?
Pushed?
Hey.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm thinking as if I was a house guest, not as like a fan of the show. If I was a house guest, I would want Cam to get pushed first because I would want him to be feeling as good in his body as possible for the free physical therapy I would be receiving from him every single day in that house.
Okay, we know where Kirsten's just lie.
Listen, my boyfriend's dad is a physical therapist. They come over, I'm like, oh, hey, can you just like look, like, ate this? Like, oh, okay, what about this?
Could Angela win the wall?
No, I didn't.
Imagine. Can you imagine if Angela won the wall?
I could imagine.
Hey, there's been some interesting moves by Angela, so I wouldn't count it out.
Mm-hmm.
She won 2 times already. She's won the most in the house so far.
All right.
I don't know that this one would be her comp to
This
win.
may not be her thing though.
Anything else we want to address from tonight heading into this competition?
I'll just say again, it's an important one. I mean, it really will change the direction of the season potentially, depending on who wins.
Yeah.
And you know, in the same way, like last time this happened, again, like the flip happened against Jared. He wins that HOH, and it completely shifts the momentum of that flip.
Right.
And the same thing could absolutely happen if one of the Pentagon remnants win.
Yeah. Say Brooklyn wins the wall comp. Who's in the most trouble?
I think T-Core Chemo.
And it's obvious that they are the people that were responsible for this.
Yes, to a degree. But I think that there is a chance for them to throw Leah Makensy under the bus. And be like, guys, we don't have to ruin what we had. Let's just throw Leah Makensy under the bus. And it's their fault, and you can still go after Tucker. So they have outs. They're not like that bad off. But obviously Tucker is in a lot of danger. It's just that he might be able to win himself out of it, and then it's who's the backup target is the problem.
Okay. All right. Lots to come in the next 24 hours. Don't miss any of our continuing coverage here of Big Brother 26 when you subscribe. Go to robswebsite.com/BB26. Hit that subscribe button here on YouTube to catch everything that we have coming up, including our interview with young Cedric on Friday. You won't want to miss it. Then, earlier tonight, I had the chance to talk to the baby boy, Bryce Isaiah. He revealed what he has been coming up with, that his Project 2025, the Zaddy calendar that he has been working on all year long, is here, and he is ready to talk about who's gracing the cover and all of the months of the 2025 Zaddy calendar earlier today in our Survivor podcast feed. Also, we had the Survivor match game. If you missed this was a super fun podcast, real fun, quick listen. You will definitely want to hear Mike and Shannon try to match answers with a panel of Survivor celebrities on the Survivor match game. Very, very fun one. Okay, and then why only vote for one player for the BB AI instigator when you could vote for 20 players to be on the final ballot of Survivor 50? The polls close tomorrow at noon. So make sure your vote was heard when you go to robswebsite.com/vote50. And over on Claim to Fame, Jenny Autumn and I broke down the latest episode of Claim to Fame as we are getting down to it. I think only 2 episodes left of Claim to Fame. Somebody was asking me, who is young Cedric's claim to fame? Is he related to a famous person?
That's the word on the street, but we don't know which famous person.
I think it was a 90s R&B singer, I think is the guess. Where I think
part of a group, but it wasn't his grandma or his mom.
It's Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what they thought.
Not confirmed.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Chelsea is Niecy Nash's actual niece. So
Wow.
Oh.
Okay. So many celebrities in the Big Brother house. Okay. Then, Kirsten, what's going on with over on the Mess Magnets?
So Sasha is away, and Chappelle came in to join me to talk about all of the drama with the It Ends With Us press tour. We actually a lot more has happened since we recorded, so I'm sure there'll be more updates. But if you're wondering why people are talking about Blake Lively, we got you.
Okay. You know, I keep hearing or seeing commercials for this new show, Anonymous, and I keep thinking of the mess magnets.
Anonymous every week, a new gossip story that you actually, here's the thing. This is a big platform. If you have any gossip, any mess, any funny stories, any entertaining stories, we read them anonymously on mess magnets every single week.
You should get a deep fake
mess.
of the person to read them.
Honestly, we don't even care if it's true or not. If it's a lie, that's fine too. But you can submit it tinyurl.com/mess magnets, and it would really, we're getting low on mess. We could really use some submissions.
Okay. All right. And then over on TV for Real, Izzy from BB25 talked about Izzy's favorite TV shows. Check that out in our scripted TV podcast feed. Go to robinswebsite.com/scripted. And of course, check out everything else we have going on over on Patreon. On Friday, Taran and I will answer your Big Brother questions as we kick off week number 5. And earlier tonight, we had a new patron welcome event. I went through some of maybe the lesser known perks of being a patron, told a couple of fun stories about what it's been like for me in the last 24 hours, and then took some Q&A from the patrons. The video, at least the first half of that, is posted up on Patreon at robinswebsite.com/patron. Okay. Jason, what else is coming up for you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at JAYR1085. I've got a fun little passion project I've started recently called The Good Pod, where me and Marissa Garza, my co-host, talk about the show The Good Wife all the way back from 2009. It's a rewatch podcast.
Will you get to Elsbeth eventually?
We did the first season of Elsbeth when it came on before we even did The Good Wife, and we will be covering Elsbeth season 2.
Wow.
So for Elsbeth stands out there ready for
She's
the
everywhere.
promotional push. She's going to be
everywhere.
everywhere on CBS. Come check us out on The Good Pod. So yeah, we'll be there for you.
All right,
Jason,
Jason,
Elsbeth needs.
always a treat to get the podcast with you.
Always fun.
Okay, thanks for coming on tonight. Kirsten, what else is coming up for you?
So this upcoming Monday, August 19th, is the Love Island USA reunion show. So we will be covering that over on the Hot Dummies on Islands.
I didn't even know they did that.
They never have before. It's unprecedented with how successful Love Island USA was this year. So really excited to cover that. I guess it filmed yesterday, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. You can also follow me everywhere at Kirsten Said What. And I am running a 5K for breast cancer research this coming fall. And so if people have a spare couple dollars to throw, it's in my pinned tweet at Kirsten Said What.
Okay, that's really awesome, Kirsten. Thanks for being here tonight. And then Taran, I suspect it'll be a late night for you.
Yes. Come find me on Twitch. The stream will be running right after this podcast ends. You can find me over there. I'll be staying tuned for tonight's wall competition. We'll be watching it live together. So if you want to come hang out, predict who's going to fall next, talk about the ramifications as it comes, it'll be a good time. So just find me over there.
All right. And thank you all so much for joining us here tonight for this one on a very momentous episode of Big Brother. We'll be back with much more tomorrow, so make sure you're subscribed. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye. Make sure you check out everything else we have coming up here on RHAP. Plenty of good videos, and if you miss any, I don't want you to be upset.